Before starting the analysis, मैं आपको ये बताना चाहूँगी that this video is a compilation of yesterday's and today's current affairs. Let's start with the themes analysis. आज का सबसे पहला टॉपिक है न्यू H1B visa fee will not apply for change of status as said by US government. So basically the US government announced that the new $1 lakh H1B visa fee will not apply to existing visa holders who are seeking an amendment, change of status, or extension of stay. So the fee applies only to new H1B petitions filed on or after 12:01 a.m. on September 21, 2025. So the US Citizenship and Immigration Services clarified that the proclamation does not restrict current H1B visa holders from traveling to and from the US. The change aims to ease concerns among the employers and foreign workers, especially the Indians, who are the largest group of H1B beneficiaries. The US Chamber of Commerce had recently filed a lawsuit challenging the new fee, arguing it unfairly burdens the businesses. So, data shows that a growing share of H1B recipients previously held by F1 student visas reaching to 47.4% in 2023. The clarification provides relief to current visa holders and students transitioning to work status in the US. So this is a kind of relief for students. तो बेसिकली जो 33 to 47% of new H1B beneficiaries थे who were previously the US students on F1 visas, a large share of them which were Indians, the new guidelines have brought relief to them. कैसे relief कि उन पे ये fee applicable नहीं होगी. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है आपका नेट FDI fell 159% in August RBI data. So net foreign direct investment into India fell 159% in August, with more money leaving the country than entering it. So this is according to the official data as per RBI. So this is the second time this financial year that outflows have exceeded the inflows. However, the picture is reversed when looked at over a longer time period, with net FDI between April and August 2025 more than 121% higher than the same 5-month period of the previous year. So the Hindu analysis of data released by the Reserve Bank of India shows that the repatriation and disinvestment by the foreign firms in India and the investments done abroad by the Indian companies, which add up to the total money leaving the country, were higher than the gross amount that was invested into India in August 2025. So gross investment into India kitna raha hai? That stood around $6,049 million in August 2025. That is around 30.6% lower than their level in August as compared to last year. Last year kitna tha? It was 45.5% lower than in July this year. अब इसमें यूपीएससी रेलेवेंस में बात करें तो एफडीआई के ऊपर थोड़ा सा कंसेप्चुअल बेसिस पे नोट्स बना लीजिएगा. Why is FDI important? What role does FDI plays in the development of the country? And also जैसे FDI जब इन्वेस्टमेंट्स होते हैं फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, तो उसमें टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र सिर्फ मनी ही नहीं होता है, एक रोल प्ले करता है. रादर दैन टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र भी होता है, ग्लोबलाइजेशन भी होता है, एंड वी ऑल्सो लर्न सम न्यू स्किल्स. उसके अलावा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल डेवलपमेंट भी होता है. ये सारे जो हैं ये एफडीआई की वजह से होते हैं ड्यू टू फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट. सो दिस इनहेंसेस द कंट्रीज इनकम, कंट्रीब्यूट्स टू जीडीपी एक्सेट्रा. उसके अलावा एक चीज़ आपको और ध्यान देनी है कि आपको क्या नोट्स बनाने होंगे. उसमें जो नोट्स आप बनाओगे उसमें आपको ये लिखना होगा कि किस तरीके से इंडियन गवर्नमेंट को रिफॉर्मेशंस लाने चाहिए टू अट्रैक्ट मोर एफडीआईज. इस पे आप नोट्स बना लीजिए, रिफॉर्मेशंस टू अट्रैक्ट मोर एफडीआईज, क्योंकि मेंस में पूछा जा सकता है. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है आपका इंडिया ट्रैवल्स इन नेगोशिएटिंग अ फ्रेंडलेस वर्ल्ड. So basically ये जो editorial है, this discusses the growing challenges that India faces in adapting its foreign policy to rapidly changing global order. It argues that India's traditional diplomatic approach, rooted in non-alignment and moral authority, appears outdated amid the increasing geopolitical tensions and shifting alliances. So basically article जो है ये highlight करता है कि India's limited influence in crisis such as Gaza and जो इंडिया की इनेबिलिटी रही है टू लेवरेज relations with major powers like US, China, and Russia effectively. So it also points to regional concerns, including strained ties with Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Maldives, and the growing assertiveness of China. So the piece calls for India to adopt more pragmatic, flexible diplomacy that acknowledges new power realities while maintaining its strategic autonomy. So it concludes that India must deepen engagement with both the global south and established powers to navigate a world where friendship and neutrality are no longer guaranteed assets. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है आपका अनरिलायबल एयर एंड नॉइज डेटा रियल टाइम डिसेप्शन. सो अगर मैं बात करूँ इस आर्टिकल की, दिस हाईलाइट्स द सीरियस फ्लॉज इन इंडियाज एनवायरमेंटल मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम्स, particularly concerning air and noise pollution data. Basically, this argues that data produced by the central and state pollution boards are oftenly unreliable, inconsistent, and manipulated to downplay the severity of pollution. So, the real time monitoring systems introduced to ensure transparency have instead become the tools for misinformation due to technical faults, selective reporting, and lack of independent verification. This unreliable data undermines public health policies and weakens the accountability. The authors emphasizes that accurate, transparent, and scientifically validated data are essential for effective pollution control policy making and public trust. So they call for greater investment in reliable monitoring infrastructure, data transparency, and adherence to global standards such as those of WHO without trustworthy environmental data. So, India risks continued public health crisis and ineffective policy responses to its worsening pollution problem. Next topic है आपका मोदी ट्रम्प स्पीक US India call accounts differ. So leaders extend Deepavali greetings over the phone while the US president says Modi conveyed decision to stop buying Russian oil and discussed India Pakistan peace where India denies Pakistan was discussed. So basically these are the reports on a phone conversation between Indian Prime Minister and Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump, a hint of ASEAN and East Asian summit. So both the leaders exchanged the public greetings and discussed trade, terrorism, and bilateral relations, but their accounts of the call diverged significantly. According to Trump, Modi informed him that India would stop importing Russian oil to support efforts to end the Ukraine conflict and also discussed India-Pakistan peace. However, the Indian officials denied that Pakistan was mentioned, emphasizing instead that the conservation centered on trade issues and combating terrorism. The discrepancy in statements highlights ongoing diplomatic sensitiveness in India US relations, particularly regarding the Russia and Pakistan. So the Ministry of External Affairs declined further comment, maintaining that India's position on key foreign policy matters remains consistent and guided by national interest and strategic autonomy. So this is important with respect to international relations and also the relations between India and US. Next topic है आपका Ladakh talks. Ministry of Home Affairs offers key provisions under Article 371. So a month after 4 persons, including a Kargil war veteran, were killed in police action against the protesters seeking Ladakhi statehood, civil society groups resumed talks on the region's status with the Ministry of Home Affairs on Wednesday. सो कहीं ना कहीं इस तरीके की जो घटनाएं होती हैं ये नेशनल सिक्योरिटी को जो है थ्रेट देती हैं, इंटरनल एग्रेशन को बताती हैं और किस तरीके से एक गवर्नेंस के अंदर ये टॉपिक आपका आ जाता है, किस तरीके से गवर्नमेंट को हैंडल करना चाहिए. देन द थिंग फॉर द स्टेटहुड एंड आर्टिकल 371 आ जाता है आपका. The Ministry of Home Affairs officials indicated the two groups, that is the lay apex body and the Kargil Democratic Alliance, that special provisions guaranteed under Article 371 of the Constitution can be considered for Ladakh people who attended the meeting, as told by the Hindu. However, both the groups said they continued to demand inclusion under the sixth schedule of the Constitution, which recognizes tribal status and provides measures of autonomy and self governance. Next topic है आपका गवर्नमेंट proposes mandatory labeling of AI generated content on social media. बेसिकली ये जो है दिस हैज़ बीन प्रपोज्ड बाय द मेदी डिपार्टमेंट, दैट इज़ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, कि जो भी कंटेंट एआई जनरेटेड होगा उस पर एआई लेबल करना मैंडेटरी होता है. सो दिस प्लान्स टू रिक्वायर क्लियर लेबलिंग ऑफ द आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, दैट इज़ द एआई जनरेटेड कंटेंट शेयरिंग ऑनलाइन. So the proposal part of the draft amendments to information technology intermediary guidelines and digital media ethics code rules 2021 aims to combat misinformation, deepfakes, and deceptive AI based media. So, social media platforms would need to identify and label synthetic or manipulated content, including the text, audio, video, and images, while also preventing its spread. So, the move follows growing concerns about the misuse of generative AI tools for spreading the false information and influencing the public opinion. Officials stated that labeling mandate will apply to user uploaded and platform generated material. So the initiative reflects the government's intent to enhance digital accountability and protect the users from AI driven misinformation while maintaining the transparency in the online communication. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है आपका द टेलविंड्स फ्रॉम लोअर ग्लोबल ऑयल प्राइसेस. सो अगर मैं बात करूँ इसके बेसिक कंटेक्स्ट के बारे में, सो द आर्टिकल एनालाइजेस हाउ डिक्लाइनिंग ग्लोबल ऑयल प्राइसेस could benefit India's economy, particularly by reducing inflationary pressures, improving the current account deficit, and strengthening the rupee. So, now if we talk about the economic relief, lowering oil prices ease India's import bill since the country depends heavily on crude oil imports. Reduced fuel costs can bring down transportation and production expenses, leading to lower overall inflation. The savings from reduced oil imports can be redirected to social and infrastructure spending. Impact on fiscal balance क्या पड़ा है? A fall in oil prices helps the government maintain fiscal discipline by reducing the need for fuel subsidies. It can also create room for cutting taxes or increasing the capital expenditure to stimulate the growth. So global and geopolitical dimensions की अगर हम बात करें, the fall in prices is influenced by weak global demand, high inventories, and the increased production by the US and OPEC countries. OPEC countries basically oil producing countries होती हैं. However, prolonged low prices may destabilize the oil exporting economies, leading to geopolitical volatility. So basically, this article warns that the benefits for India may be temporary since oil markets are highly volatile. Next topic है आपका Indian Embassy in Kabul will help regional peace, Taliban spokesman. So basically, if we talk about the topic, so the Taliban welcomed India's decision to reopen its embassy in Kabul, calling it a positive step towards promoting regional stability and cooperation. Taliban spokesperson Suhail Shaheen stated that India's diplomatic presence would contribute to peace, trade, and development in Afghanistan. He emphasized that diplomatic engagement between India and Afghanistan can strengthen the mutual understanding and help rebuild the war torn nation. So, India had earlier withdrawn its diplomats after the Taliban takeover in 2021, but later sent a technical team to oversee the humanitarian aid and monitored projects. So the Taliban expressed interest in expanding trade and political ties with India, particularly in infrastructure and humanitarian sectors. Shaheen denied any security threat to Indian diplomats and invited greater cooperation. The move is seen as part of India's cautious engagement strategy, balancing regional diplomacy and its concern over the terrorism and stability in Pakistan. Now this is very important क्योंकि अफगानिस्तान एक वन ऑफ द नेबर्स है ऑफ इंडिया, तो आप इसके इंडिया के साथ जो टाइज रहे इंडिया एंड अफगानिस्तान के, उनके बारे में एक हिस्टोरिकल ओवरटेक, दैट इज़ हिस्टोरिकल स्टडी ज़रूर कर लीजिएगा, बिकॉज दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इंडिया एंड इट्स नेबर, एंड ऑल्सो what how is it going to help elevate India अगेंस्ट पाकिस्तान. ये कुछ एनालिसिस आपको करने, सेल्फ एनालिसिस करने बहुत ज़रूरी होते हैं. मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगी कि ये एक एनालिसिस वीडियो है, दैट इज़ वाई मैं इसमें डिटेल्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं देती हूँ. लेटर ऑन मुझे अगर लगा तो आई विल गो इन टू डीप एक्सप्लेनेशंस ऑल्सो वेर एवर नेसेसरी. Officers issuing content notice to be made more accountable. So basically this explains that the University of Electronics and Information Technology, that is METI, will amend social media takedown rules to increase the transparency and responsibility among the officials. Under the revised Information Technology, that is Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021, officers issuing a content removal notices must provide a reasoned intimation explaining the basis of their decisions. Such orders will now be issued only by senior officials, joint secretary level or higher for the central government, and deputy inspector general level for the states. So the change aims to prevent arbitrary or unclear takedown directives and ensure due process. Notices must clarify the safe harbor protection for intermediaries that does not apply to flagged content. The amendments set to take effect from November 15, that is, seek to make online regulations more transparent while balancing legal accountability with freedom of expression and platform responsibility. So that's all for the day. Here I end my analysis. Thank you and have a nice day. I request you to like, subscribe, and share my channel.